Hey guys, welcome back to SCG Collects. I'm Annie. Hey everyone, welcome back. So as you can definitely tell, we are back again in potato vision, potato mode, low quality, back on the webcam, because today I wanted to take some time to finally talk about the summer Wonfest announcements and releases and all that stuff. I know I'm like a week behind. Um, just that's the way life goes. So for this video, I mean, first and foremost, I'm sure it's going to be split up into a couple of different parts, just because there was so much stuff released and talked about and announced. So if that happens, this is going to be part one, and then, part two will probably come out a day after this one. As far as stuff I want to cover with these videos, so I'm going to be just focusing on figures. I know with Wonfest, there's a lot of things like garage kits, action figures, other items like that are also announced and displayed and shown. I don't have any interest in action figures, and the whole garage kit thing I don't really know anything about. I know, you have to assemble them and whatever, but anyways, so this is going to be just for things like figure announcements, and I'm also not going to be covering any of the 18 plus stuff. Not because there's anything wrong with 18 plus, just, for YouTube, all that. Don't want to risk having a video flagged or something. So, unfortunately, we'll be skipping over all of that. But otherwise, I'm going to just kind of be touching on the things that I found interesting. I may not talk about every manufacturer, every item, obviously. This is just the stuff that I was intrigued by, thought was interesting, maybe want to see more about. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, so we are starting off looking at the Quest Q announcements. Now, I don't think that there were any, like completed figure announcements, prototype, painted prototype announcements that really caught my eye with this company. So the first figure I have pulled up here that really was intriguing to me was a prototype for a 1/7 scale figure of Castor, or Shuten Doji, I guess a Halloween version from Fate Grand Order. I think I've seen other figures, if I'm thinking of the correct Servant, I think I've seen other figures of her. I've always thought her design was pretty cool. This being a Halloween version, just hearing that, it really is interesting to me. I love Halloween, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to be excited to see this one painted. I love this little, I guess, like fox dude in her hand. This giant club or staff that she's got going. Just a lot of cool stuff here. So definitely what I'm going to be keeping my eye on, and, patiently waiting for the painted prototype, and, maybe ordering her in the future. Alright, next one here is still with Quest Q. This is the 1/7 scale figure of Altina Orion. Looks like she's from the Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 2. I don't know what that franchise is. I don't know that I've ever heard of it. I just think this looks like a really cool figure. Just the design, the kind of wolf-like, fox-like ears on the hood. I'm not sure if this piece is like a tail or some kind of cable going to something like in her pocket. I'm not sure. I haven't seen even any kind of artwork or anything for who this character is or what this figure is based on. So yeah, I just think it's an interesting design, and another one I want to watch out for, you know, see how she turns out. Alright, so another one from that Legend of Heroes franchise. This is a 1/7 scale figure of Elisa Reinford. No idea who that is either. But I do love me characters who use bows and arrows, all that good stuff. Which she obviously has a very large bow here. So another one that I think I'm going to keep up with, see how it turns out. You know, hopefully it's got some good colors and not too expensive. And another one I might even go ahead and order without even knowing the franchise, because I do that. I just don't care. I'm beyond that. If it is aesthetically pleasing to me, I'm probably gonna buy it. So one more Quest Q, at least prototype, I wanted to touch on. This isn't necessarily one that I'm like interested in or that I would even really consider ordering. But this is the 1/8 scale figure Lancer, Ultra Pendragon Alter version, also from Fate Grand Order. I just think this prototype is insane. I mean, as you can see, they're including an entire horse, or at least, I guess, planning to include an entire horse. And then this weapon, this, you know, lance, I'm not even sure how big that is, because it goes up off the screen. And obviously I know that there's no real size reference in this picture. There's nothing else in this picture to really help give an idea of just how big this is. I know 1/8 scales can be on, of course, the smaller side. I just think there's so much here that it's going to end up at least looking massive. And I also do not want to even know what the price tag is going to be on this thing. Like, I can't even imagine how much they're going to charge for this. I think it's a really cool concept to include not just Lancer, but to include the horse that she's on and everything. Just not a super fan of Lancer. You know, this is just way too big, or is going to take up way too much space, even at a 1/8 scale. And the price, I mean, just too much against it for me to want to purchase it when it goes up. I think I will keep tabs on this, though, just because I'm very interested to see the paint job when that's, you know, the painted prototype is out, and also just how much is this thing going to cost. So yeah, I'll be keeping my eye on this one just for those reasons. Alright, so still with Quest Q, but now moving into more of just the announcements or planned figures, you know, things that maybe just have the artwork for them that the company has decided they're going to make, and there's no prototypes or anything. First one that caught my eye is this female shinobi, which I guess is a tentative name. Says this character is by Mataro. I just think this is a really interesting design. Maybe a little on the skimpier side in terms of clothing, from what I would normally be interested in buying, especially this area down here where it just looks like this is bare skin under this little loincloth thing. But yeah, I do think it's an interesting design with like these spiky kind of half gloves. You know, she does have these bits and pieces of armor, and she's got the little horns. Looks like that may just be a headband she's wearing, but still very cool. So I think this is gonna be a really cool looking figure if, you know, they do well in the sculpt and translating it into 3D, so to speak. So I definitely want to keep up with this. You know, see just how skimpy it ends up looking in figure form. You know, is it going to be something where they change it a little bit to make it even kind of sexier and more revealing? Will they stay true to the artwork? Will they maybe even cover it up a little bit, which that never happens. So, but yeah, gonna keep up with this one, and you know, hopefully there's a prototype soon, to see what direction they take this, from the artwork. Okay, so another kind of sexy lady piece of artwork that looks like QuestQ has decided to pick up and potentially make a figure from. This is the Devil Trainer, or at least that again is the tentative name. And this artwork looks like is by Tori Demono. So again, I think this is a very cool, very also cute concept. Kind of reminds me of like those lion tamers, you know, that you see in like cartoons and movies and things with the circus. But you know, as the name plainly says, she is a devil tamer, and at least in the artwork, she's got her three little devils. Um, she's got her whip. She got her own little kind of devil wings on her back, which love me a devil girl or devil adjacent girl. So another one I'm excited to see how they translate into 3D. You know, for example, are they going to include these little devils? I really hope so. So yeah, another one to keep an eye on. All right, last couple things to round out Quest Q. There were a couple of these announcements for some other Fate Go figures. So this one is Berserker Sei Shonagun, and then there's also going to be a Saber Tomoe Gozen. Not really interested in her. I am interested in the Berserker. I just think these are really fun, bright colors. I love her skateboard. Obviously, I really hope that sticks with her when they translate this into a figure, into a prototype. So if they stick close to this artwork, even though this is not a Fate Go servant that I am currently super familiar with, I just think the design is super cool, super bright, so fun, and you know, might look into ordering once she exists. Okay, so moving on to the next company, next manufacturer. This is the Katie Colle or Katakawa collection, as well as I think the CA Works announcements were sort of combined with them, or at least the way this website I'm working off of has everything set up. So the first figure under this manufacturer, under the Katakawa collection, and actually I think this might be the only one from them that really caught my eye, was the 1/7 scale figure hollow China dress version, obviously hollow from Spice and Wolf. I actually just recently started watching Spice and Wolf, partly because I saw this figure and I was like, oh man, you know, this probably has nothing to actually do with the anime, but you know, I see so many figures of this character. I'm really getting curious now. I'm gonna go watch it. Regardless whether I have completed it by the time this comes out or not, I definitely think that this is going to be one that I'm going to order. You know, not only is she, you know, cute girl with fox ears or wolf ears, cute girl with wolf ears and wolf tail. She's got, you know, kind of that traditional China dress on. That's something I very much love. I think that color is fantastic. And I just think the pose is really fun. And of course, she's got her apples. So this will probably be one ends up in my collection once it's released. So moving on to the Katie Colle prototypes. The first prototype from them that I noticed, and this is one that I was like, oh my god, this is fantastic. So the 1/7 scale figure Saber, Nero Claudius, Silk of Venus, from Fate Grand Order. I don't normally like figures of Nero. I don't know, the design of that servant doesn't really stand out to me, doesn't really, I guess, speak to me, if you will. But there's just something about this prototype, just the way they've done all this draping of the dress, that collar, uh, or necklace, or whatever you want to call this, holding the cup, holding the rose. There's just something about all of this together. I'm just like, oh my god. Now, obviously, since it's just prototype, once a painted version has been released and we can all see the colors, my opinion might change. I might hate the colors, and then I might be like, oh my god, never mind. But if it's in this version and the colors turn out nice, I think this is going to be a definite order for me. I don't know. There's something about it. I'm just like, that is it. That is the Nero. If there's going to be a Nero in my collection, it's going to be that one. One other prototype that caught my eye, this is actually Kadokawa and Plum. So this is the 1/7 scale figure of Yoshino from Date Alive. Some kind of swimsuit version. I think this is very cute. I really love Yoshino's character. I love her sort of base character design in Date Alive. So I'll be interested to see how this turns out, if they, keep the color scheme or some of those sorts of elements from her, I guess, spirit dress from Date Alive. Yeah, another one that I'm going to be keeping my eye on, and another one that I think paint choices could really make or break here. And finally, moving on to the CA Works. So first up is a painted prototype of the 1/7 scale Megumin Fudo Rutsuki Chomsky version. So Megumin from, of course, Konosuba. Another one of those shows that I've never seen. I don't know a lot about this character specifically either. I just really think this design is adorable. Dressed as this little cat, I'm assuming, based on, this little guy back here and just the way the outfit looks. I just think it's adorable. And I love that they kind of carried the face of that little cat to the base as well. So yeah, very cute. I really enjoy it. On a somewhat similar note, but different, I guess, franchise, is a non-scale figure of Masaka Mikoto, Fudo Rutsuku Gakoda version. So I guess this is a character from a certain scientific railgun T. I just really like frogs, so this, really drew me in. I'm not sure about the face. I can't tell if she's supposed to be yawning or crying. That may just be on me. I feel like she would be yawning because this kind of, looks like an outfit you nap in or lounge around in. I guess she could be crying though for some reason. But I'm gonna keep an eye on this and see what the prototype looks like, and have some froggy figures, so to speak, to add to my collection maybe whenever this is fully released. One final one for the CA Works slash Kadokawa category is this 1/7 scale figure Hatsune Miku Maneki Miku version. I'm obsessed with this. I love the whole like lucky cat aesthetic and all of that, and so to see them doing Hatsune Miku, crossed with that type of thing, just 100%. Just go ahead, take my money. I'm buying it, whatever. So unless this prototype and the painting and everything turns out to be like flaming hot garbage, this is going to be a definite pre-order. So I am absolutely keeping an eye on this. And again, unless it turns out terribly, once it's fully, 3D and everything, um, I am smashing that pre-order button. Okay, so next up we have Union Creative. First thing I wanted to take a look at is this EVA 01 versus EVA 13 from Rebuild of Evangelion. This is insane. Again, something that I don't know that there is a lot of size reference in this picture to fully grasp how big this is. But obviously it's pretty big. I can't tell if this is somehow going to be sold as like two figures or two pieces. So, EVA 01 in one half and EVA 13 in the other. And if you get both, you put them together. Because it does look like there's a split right here. But that could just be for ease of, I don't know, transportation, of, maybe selling it when it's being sold in the future. You can hopefully fit it in a slightly smaller package than if you were trying to fit the whole thing lengthwise in one box. But I don't know. Again, this is something that I would probably not buy because price is going to be ridiculous. Whether it's all sold as one or it's two separate, I just know even individually, assuming, just trying to guess how big the size is, price is going to be insane. And then also just having the room for it. There's just no way. I do think it's a very ambitious and cool idea, though. So I think it's probably going to look pretty cool once it's painted. So there you go. Okay, so next up under Union Creative, there were several sort of original characters that really caught my eye. The first one was this Wa Sailor Chan by this artist. I don't know how to read that. So this is the original artwork that she's based on. And then, of course, we have a painted prototype here. Pretty basic figure, but I like it. I like this mask. I like the samurai sword, kind of combining that schoolgirl aesthetic with some more traditional elements. So I just think this is a very cute figure overall and, based off of a pretty cool piece of artwork. Second kind of original character piece is Guitar Mei backless dress version by Hito Mio. So this, again, pretty basic figure, girl standing there, but this time girl's got a guitar. And I don't know how well you can see it in in this shot of the prototype. I think there were some other images going around from different angles, but a really cool detail is part of the sides of the skirt is cut out, so you kind of get this nice view of her hips, I guess. And then, of course, here's the original artwork, and I guess it shows a bit more of this cutout and what this is supposed to look like. So another just kind of interesting one. Always nice to see original characters, original artwork getting picked up and turned into figures. So third OC, and probably one I'm most excited for, at least in terms of the prototypes that are up here so far. So it looks like this is called T-Chan by Nico Jira. So as I said just a minute ago, love me some Devil Girls, Succubi, all that kind of stuff. I think this is a very cute pose, and the artwork it's based on, very lovely. Just wearing black, black wings, black horns, white hair, or, slightly grayish hair. So that contrast, I really like that. So we'll just have to see how the paint job comes out, but I think this, out of all of the original artwork that we've looked at so far, I think this one is going to be a definite order for me. So next manufacturer is Knead. This is not a manufacturer I'm super familiar with. It also looks like they only had a couple of things on display. But both the things, you know, really kind of caught my eye. So the first one is this 1/7 scale figure Yatsen wedding version from Azure Lane. So it looks like so far all that they have is, I'm assuming this is some kind of 3D modeling of what they hope the figure to look like. And I'm not quite sure what the original artwork looks like either. But I have found myself more and more really, really liking Azure Lane character designs and by extension the figure designs. So I think this has the potential to be absolutely gorgeous, especially if they are doing it with like the whole environment, you know, the tree and the sort of wall or backdrop, all of that. So hopefully there's an actual prototype, you know, 3D real prototype soon that we can all take a look at. The other one by Knead that I thought looked interesting is just an announcement that, you know, they're going to be using this artwork. So this is supposed to be a 1/7 scale figure Ayanami Navalistic Showdown version, again from Azure Lane. From what I can tell in the artwork, I'm not 100% sure what's happening, but I do see a girl with what looks to be a pretty cool outfit. Looks like she has a pretty big sword, and I'm not sure what this piece up here is. But I don't know, this little pop of teal or green, whatever you want to call it, I think that's kind of what originally caught my eye for some reason, because I just like this color. So this is going to be interesting to see how they translate this artwork into an actual figure. So something to keep watching for. So this is from a manufacturer called Kaitendoh. Never heard of them. I don't know if they're a new manufacturer, just maybe a smaller one that up to this point I'm not familiar with any of their figures. Bunny Girl, you know, I know people have mixed feelings about Bunny Girls. If it's a good design, I like it, and I think this is an interesting design. You know, she's obviously kneeling, not just standing there, the way a lot of bunny figures kind of are. I like the pops of like yellow or gold kind of on the inner ear in the artwork. And these straps on her leg, I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't say what scale she'll be or anything, or if she'll be a scale. But again, cool original character artwork to, you know, hopefully turn into a really nice figure. The prototype looks good, so excited to see some color on this one. Okay, moving on to Wings Inc. or Wings Inc. with Charm or Charm with Wings Inc. First one is a very early announcement for 1/7 scale figure Lewis Warmth of the Winter Sweet version from Girls Frontline. I've heard of Girls Frontline. I'm not 100% sure of what it is, though I'm fairly certain it's, you know, another one of those girls with big weapons or big guns. So I'm guessing whatever's on her back sort of wrapped up is maybe some kind of weapon. But I think they do have just a very early, you know, computer 3D model, no actual physical prototype yet. But, you know, if they stick close to the artwork and stick close to this early modeling that they've done, I think this could be really nice. And I do like, you know, the colors, the white dress, the purple hair, the splashes of red. Um, this is one to also keep an eye on. And then we have a 1/7 scale figure of, I'm not sure how to pronounce this word, but looks like it's a character designed by the artist Swav, or SWAV. I am very fascinated with this. So once again, figure with this kind of teal blue color. Got some really cool samurai swords. Very interesting outfit. But then I think she's part dragon. Because she's got horns. Looks like she has a big old dragon's tail. And if that's the case, I am very excited for this one. This is another one that, unless it's a total crash and burn, you know, the sculpting is bad, the prototype looks bad, the coloring looks bad, I will probably end up ordering this whenever it becomes available. That's because you don't see Dragon Girls in this way every day. So definitely a cool design. Another original character, original piece of art, figure announcement from Wings. I believe this is original artwork. This is a 1/7 scale figure of Yuri and Stella, White Tiger version. It does say Princess of Moe, and that the artist is Jin. I hope I'm saying that right. I just think these two look very cute. I like the, you know, white tiger aesthetic that they've got these two in. Um, I'm curious to see how they're going to translate this, if it's going to be all one giant figure, you know, with it's like two figures and a backdrop, or if they're going to split it up and, you know, have one girl come with, you know, some of the pieces, the other girl come with the other pieces, and then obviously, you know, combine them and it creates this whole scene. Either way, I think it's going to look pretty cool if it's executed well. Alright, so now I think we're getting into the ones that are like Charm with Wings Ink versus Wings Ink with Charm. I don't know what the difference is. But this is a painted prototype of a 1/6 scale figure of Tana China dress version. Artist Aiko. Again, little demon girl, devil girl, succubus, whatever we want to call her. You know, just very cute outfit. Got that China dress thing going again. And it looks like she's eating some kind of, you know, like steamed buns or something, but looks like they're shaped like skulls. So that's a very cute detail. So yeah, I really enjoy this one, and the skull buns are hysterical to me. Now we have a couple of still sort of very early announcements. Look, I believe from Neonmax. So the first one is the 1/6 scale figure Noir by, oh hey, it's Tori Damoto again. I remember mentioning his name with another figure. So this is kind of a nun devil-ish girl. A lot going on here, a lot of details that are going to have to hopefully be included in this. I think what I really like about this figure is she does have horns, but instead of just kind of the standard little, you know, demon horns or something, almost looks like a ram's horn or a sheep horn. So I think that's very cool. And then here's, yeah, some close-ups of some parts. But yes, I'm excited to see a prototype of this, see how many of these details they manage to translate over, and see how that all turns out. The other one from, I guess, Neonmax that caught my eye was this 1/7 scale Kosaka Wakamo from Blue Archive. Not familiar with Blue Archive either, but I think this outfit is just super fascinating. You know, kind of a traditional styled in a very different way. Looks like maybe even got a Sailor Girl collar. I mean, there's a lot going on here. So again, going to be interesting to see how they manage to translate all or most of it. And then also too, since we do have this picture in the close-up bits where she has the mask off, is that going to be something they carry over of either she can wear the mask or not wear the mask? So a lot of questions on this one. And again, how is all of this detail going to translate? But I am excited to see how that turns out. Moving on to Wave. Here we have the 1/7 scale figure of Pine from Bomber Girl. I've liked a lot of the other characters' designs and figures that I've seen of some of the Bomber Girl characters. I love this super bright yellow with bits of blue in it color palette. There's just the close-up of the figure on here, but I think I saw some other more pulled back shots or different angled shots. And overall, it looks like a very interesting, cool figure. So I don't know. I really like her. Like I said, I've really liked a lot of the Bomber Girl designs that I've seen. So yeah, I don't know. Might keep watching her. Couple more Azure Lane figures, of course. A 1/7 scale figure Honolulu Among the Stalls, and a 1/7 scale figure Sirius White Rose. I just think very nice designs. I like on this one of Sirius how they've incorporated what I'm assuming is one of her guns, or what would be one of her guns, you know, since she is a boat, and how she's just, you know, chilling, just sitting on it, looking fancy. Look at this fancy dress. And she's sitting on this gun turret. I mean, that's awesome. And then the one for Honolulu, again, just getting me with these kind of traditional-esque outfits, you know, somewhat kimono-like, obviously shortened and all of that. But the sleeves, the sash, looks like maybe she's carrying a fan, and then got the mask as well. So I really like her design as well. So this is one I'm very, very excited about. So this is the 1/7 scale Black Swan Girl from Avian Romance. So they've been putting out, I mean, I don't know that's been Wave specifically, but there have been other Avian Romance, like ballerina girl figures being released. I think they're awesome. I have this thing about ballet, like not like I go to ballets or watch ballet a lot, or anything like that, but I do think, of course, it's a very just beautiful and graceful art form even. And so seeing these figures of ballerinas and things, I love it. And, you know, so far a lot of the, at least Avian Romance ballerina figures have been very traditional with like the pink tutus and everything. So to see a figure that's going to be done in a much darker color palette, you know, the Black Swan, I think this could turn out very, very beautiful. So I'm excited, very excited for this one, and I will probably order it when it is announced for pre-order. Alright, now we're taking a look at Aniplex. There was really only one announcement from Aniplex that truly caught my eye, and I was like, oh my god, that is adorable, I love it, I'm obsessed. And that is the Foreigner Abigail Williams Summer version from Fate Grand Order. I just love the cats that are included here. So of course she has one on her shoulder, but then there's this absolute unit of a cat, this absolute chunk down here, and I am obsessed. And then the little faces on the teddy bear inner tubes, like, I think I am more in love with the extra bits than in Abigail Williams and her get up and her look itself. Like, it's all this extra stuff that is really making this figure for me. And so I am very excited to see this completed. Um, and I may just buy this to have these cats. Like, I know that they're probably not like detachable, but just so I can say that I own these cats, like, that is probably going to happen. Next, we have a figure from another company that I am not at all familiar with, Parco Oneslash. So this is a 1/7 scale figure of Plachta from Atelier Sophie 2. And I'm sure I just butchered the poor girl's name. Even though I've played some of the game and heard them pronounce it in the game, my brain just like does not process that word. Anyways, I think this design is super cute. Like, I love the little ears she has going on, and then this little bit that almost looks like a tail. And then of course she's surrounded by books because, I mean, at least in the first game, she's a book. I haven't finished the first game or played any of the second one, so I don't know if that like changes somehow. But I just think this is a very cute design, and I'm excited to see what the possible colors are going to be, how it turns out painted. I do feel like it's a figure that would take up a lot of room. So that might be one sort of strike against it in terms of whether or not I would want to get it. But I do think I'll at least keep an eye on it and, see how it progresses once they put out some kind of colors. Moving on to Wanderer, yet another manufacturer I'm not super familiar with. So this is a prototype of Unicorn Prayer of Plum and Snow version from Azure Lane. I feel like I saw a listing for this on my figure collection, maybe just as artwork from maybe where the company originally said they were going to be doing this figure. So now we have a prototype, or maybe there's been a prototype, but this is the first time I'm seeing it. And I think it's really nice that they've kept a lot of the details that I remember seeing in the original artwork. And I love Unicorn as like a character, the little bit that I know of her and like have seen in the Azure Lane anime and stuff like that. She's just a very adorable girl. And I'm excited to see this one painted. Again, looks like it's going to be a pretty large figure. But I don't know. When I saw the artwork of it, I really liked it. So I'm excited to see it painted and, see how that all turns out. Next up, we have Emontoys. So just a couple from them as well. So this one is a 1/7 scale figure, Narmaya swimsuit version from Grand Blue Fantasy. Yet another franchise I don't know a lot about. I just think she looks very cute. I love her face. Just something about that expression they've given her. And she's got horns, so that's a +1 for me and what I like. I think I saw a picture of this prototype, maybe alongside the artwork it's from, or maybe I'm thinking of a different one. But either way, I'm very intrigued to see this. I love, it looks like she's got maybe what's supposed to be a snow cone here, and there's somehow like a manatee hanging out with her, holding onto her sword. A lot going on, but very intriguing. Very excited to see how this one progresses as well. Another Emontoys one that I wanted to mention is this 1/7 scale figure of Izayoi Sakuya, illustration by Teddy, a character from Tohu Project. When I saw this, for a minute I had like a little panic attack because there is a figure that has been on pre-order for a little while now of a watch maid. I forget what franchise or what she's from, but I think it's a game. And I had pre-ordered this figure, and then I saw this one, and at first glance, it looks very much like a maid with a watch. And so I immediately thought, oh my god, this is the watchmaid again. And this is such a more dynamic uh, figure, you know, just everything about it is so much more going on. Not that the other figure is bad. I mean, you know, like I said, I pre-ordered it. But if it was the same character and I was choosing between the two, you know, I'd probably go with the one that's got more going on. So I was very upset for about like 30 seconds until I was able to like read again because I guess my brain shut down. And I was like, oh, that's a completely different character. That being said, even though it is a different character, all of that, I still don't know that I'll get this one. I'm just not real familiar with, you know, the Toho project, and I guess that's not fair to say because I was just talking about I'll buy figures from any franchise as long as it's aesthetically pleasing. So I guess it just boils down to, you know, maybe I just don't like this one that much. I don't know. I don't know what's stopping me. Maybe other than like I already pre-ordered a similar figure, even if it, you know, same idea of like kind of a maid and a watch and all that, even if it's done very differently. And I just need to like, you know, not spend so much money. So I don't know, but I do think this is a cool one. And I like what they've done and I like the colors on it too. All right, now we have Spiritale. Again, just a couple from this one. First is 1/7 scale figure Makamo Nero Bunny Girl. She's from Blue Archive. Again, I know bunny girls, love them or hate them. I think the thing that gets me about this one is this facial expression. Like, it's just so nice and refreshing to see a bunny figure for once that is not like a sexy face or cute face or, you know, even kind of that like bashful face, but a figure of a girl who looks super agitated to be dressed this way. Um, and I don't know, you know, that probably goes back to some background of this character, you know, some personality trait. Maybe she's just an angry little girl. But I just think with that facial expression, that's what really makes this figure for me. And I don't know, I might order it, might not, we'll see. But I just enjoy the face on this one. The other Spiritale figure that caught my eye, another one from Atelier Sophie, or at least from the first Atelier Sophie game, and that is just of Sophie. Looks like very early in design, since this again looks like one of those 3D computer modeling versus a physical prototype or anything. Um, since there's just this one angle, you know, there's no color, all that stuff. I don't know if I can fully form an opinion on this one. I think this could be done like really tastefully, since it looks like she's, you know, kind of maybe getting dressed or maybe taking her sock off. So I think it could be done somewhat tastefully, or I think it could be, you know, not so tasteful. Like maybe if you look at her from this direction, like you just see right up her shirt or up her skirt. I don't know. I hope they don't do that, but who knows? So it'll be cool to see how this one progresses, and hopefully they keep it in a tasteful manner. And if so, and it looks good, again, another one I might be inclined to purchase at some point once it's available. From S-Fire, we have a Toga Himiko from My Hero Academia. I really like the look of this one, especially with kind of this base going on. I know there was that Toga figure that really blew up, that was available for pre-order recently. I don't think it is anymore. but she was kind of sitting on that base of just, you know, like stuffed animals and shoes and all kinds of different things. And so I like the way that this one looks like it's trying to incorporate a little piece of that, but not so much. And then in this one, of course, she's like standing versus sitting. I don't know a lot about S-Fire and their quality and that kind of stuff. Um, Depending on how this turns out, since I didn't get that other version, and I can't remember who made that one, might look into getting this one, because I actually think, at least from a design sculpting standpoint, I kind of like this one better. But again, depending on the quality of like paint job and stuff that S-Fire is able to put out, that could really sway everything one way or the other. All right, last figure I wanted to touch on, at least in this video, is a figure by Medicos Entertainment. Yet another manufacturer, at least the name is not ringing a bell to me. So this is a 1/7 scale of Lilith from the maid I hired recently as Mysterious. I have no idea what that is. Like, this is one I've never even heard of. I just think this design is cool. Again, bunny figure, but done a slightly different way because it looks like she's standing on a tray. She's got like desserts around her. So that's kind of fun. I think that's a fun idea. So I'll be interested to see again how this one turns out, since I don't really know anything about this manufacturer. I don't even know if it's a new one, if they've been around, anything like that. I don't know if anybody's familiar with their quality, but you know, depending on all of that as well, maybe when she's released, something to take a look into owning. But yeah, I just think again a different kind of bunny figure. So there you go. All right, so that brings us to the end of part one. Probably didn't do a very good job of splitting things up. I have a feeling this video is way too long, and the second part's going to be at least shorter in comparison. Regardless, though, this has been part one. Part two should be up, you know, tomorrow or the next day, and I will cover the rest of stuff that I didn't cover here. But I'd like to hear from you, you know, about the manufacturers in this video. Anything that you're looking forward to from any of the manufacturers, anything you don't like, you know, anything that you feel like I should have talked about and I didn't. Yeah, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, all of that. And I'll see you guys later for part two. Bye.